Hello and welcome. Aquarister here, back with another video, and today we are actually going to be looking at a farming route. Now, what are we farming? That would be sugar. Sugar is used for the new recipes in the game, as well as if you just want to make some gold. So the price of sugar has gone up, fairly limited in terms of what territories it drops in, and as far as how many provisions are in those territories is also fairly limited. But there is one or two spots that I'm going to show you today that have really good provisions and a pretty good chance of getting a decent amount of sugar. Before we get to our sugar farm, I do just want to say if this video helps you out, or if you just like it, please drop it a like. It really does help me out a lot. And if you like to see more videos like this and more future content, definitely subscribe to the channel so you're notified when those videos go live. I do stream throughout the week on Twitch as well. If you'd like to drop by a stream, lurk, say hello, anything like that, we would love to have you. But I do go through some of these farming routes and some of my other builds on stream. So if you want to see some of that stuff before it hits YouTube, definitely stop on by. But let's get into today's video. All right, so I'm going to show you from the shrine here. So you're going to go to Lover's Shrine, and where we're initially going to be going is Skysong Temple. Now, all throughout Ebonscale, there are provisions in small little pockets, small little areas, but Skysong Temple has quite a few in just this area right here. So normally, if I'm going to be farming sugar, and let's say I don't want to be running all around the territories trying to just get a provisions crate or two, I'm going to go straight to Skysong Temple, start there, and get my sugar. So the reason why I'm going to show you from the shrine here is because there's actually a little route. If you follow this path right here, there's actually some wire fiber and all sorts of herbs. And because we are searching for sugar, I figured I might as well show you some of these other farming routes or some of the other stuff you can farm along the way. And then actually at Skysong Temple, there's also some other resources that we can farm. So I'm not going to be farming all these resources, I'm just going to be pointing them out to you. But as you can see over there, there's a few spawns for the wire fiber, and then there's also going to be a bunch of herbs along this whole path. So that's kind of how I farm some of the wire fiber. If you come here, once an hour, people aren't farming that specific patch of it all the time, so a lot of times it is there. But we're just going to run on through, and I will just take you specifically to all the provisions crates. We're not going to go to all the supply caches necessarily, but I will take you through the route and kind of point them out to you. So we're going to go right in here and to the left, and our first provisions is actually going to be right inside here. Right here, we can grab this. Not a good one. All right, so then we have a supply cache there. Normally I'm going to hop over here. There's going to be a provisions right here. I fell off. We'll go back up and get that provisions though. All right, grab the provisions crate. There's 4 sugar right there. Hop on over. Up top over there, if you follow those stairs, there's going to be an alchemy crate up there, but we're not going for that right now. And then if you cut left here, just to grab this provisions crate. And then we're going to go this way. There's another supply cache there. There's a bunch of rune wood up in this area. So if you want to farm rune wood, this is the spot. Alchemy stockpile right back there. But look at all the rune wood in this area. There's a good amount here. So if you hit this up every so often, you'll start stacking your rune wood for free. All right. So once you move through there, sometimes I'll kite this guy. We can go right here. Did that in the wrong order. Clear all these guys out, grab the chest, and move on. Alright, since we're here, we'll grab all the loot. It's easy enough. So here's your provisions crate, though, that you're going to grab. I'm just going to grab this supply stockpile, move on. We did get some sugar in that last one, too. Alright, And the nice thing too with this run, as far as getting all of the loot, which I can't help myself, there's stockpiles, I gotta do it. But the nice thing is you have a chance at getting like the Star Metal Weaponsmith Charm, and there are other craft mods that you can pull in Ebon Scale that are very specific to Ebon Scale. Let's see, do they still let you climb up here? Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, I just did it the other day. All right, then we'll get this supply stockpile. A lot of people will miss that ancient chest that's down there, so make sure you hit that up. Once we go up here, you're going to get the next stockpile, which will be that one. Okay. And then we're going to cut left. There's more sugar. So see, we've already pulled 15 sugar. I'm just cruising through here, and we're moving pretty quick. So next I'm going to show you up here. So if you go up these stairs to the right, you'll be able to go up top. Keep going. But from a loot standpoint, it's worth it to go up here. We have a supply cache there. We got stockpile, supply cache. Again, I'm just going to keep moving for now just so we can keep the video rolling here. Once you get up here, there's going to be another provisions right there. Grab that one. No luck on that. There's kind of a hidden cache right there, so you can get that. That's going to be just for a supply cache though. And then we're going to go up here, and we're going to want to clear this stuff out. All right. So clear that, and then we have a provision stockpile right here. We're not having the best luck on the sugar at the moment, but the sugar, I mean, it's still RNG as far as if you're going to actually get it out of the provisions or not. So just trying to get as many provisions as possible is best. So once we've done those ones, then we come down here. Grab this one. 3 more sugar. Down here is actually just a supply cache. I'm not going to grab it right away. There's a supply cache right back there. And then we're going to go this way. There's going to be more loot up to the right, so make sure you cut right here. I'm going to go up top. There's going to be a bunch more loot up here as well. So you have an alchemy crate, supply stockpile. Quite a bit of loot to grab. And then we can jump over the side here. And then the last of the provisions for this area is going to be right here. All right, so now that we've gotten that, there's also some spin fiber right here. A bunch of spin fiber over here, right there on the back side there. So from a loot standpoint and resource standpoint, really, really nice area. And then if you follow those stairs up there, there's actually another alchemy crate as well. So you can kind of go up and down all these different stairs, get all the loot and all that. But those are all the provisions. I took you to all the provisions that I know of. If I do miss any on this video, please let me know in the comments so I can go back and check and make sure that I didn't miss too many of them. But that's the Skysong Temple area. So a lot of provisions. We did not get provisions or sugar out of all of them. We didn't get as much as we normally would, but 18 is kind of a bad run. Normally in that area alone, you can get upwards of like 30 or more, depending on if you get lucky on pulling the sugar. But that is kind of my go-to area, kind of for area number 1. So that is a spot though. Every single hour you can go and run that spot because those chests will reset. So every hour you can just keep going back, getting more sugar. Again, it is hit or miss. Or if you bring some friends who don't need the sugar or something, you just want to farm it up for mass consumable crafting, you can also do that. And I think collectively, me and Kat got well over 100 sugar when we did that run a couple times with 2 of us going. So it can be pretty profitable. Again, you know, with all the other resources and loot that you can pull, I think it's a very, very worthwhile thing. if you're looking at only the sugar, it doesn't seem great. But if you look at everything else that you get with this trip, I really like it. I do this run often, so that is kind of the main spot that I go to for sugar. All right, so now I'm going to show you the provisions map. So there are a lot of provisions chests all throughout Evanscale, and I use Evanscale because there's the most provisions in Evanscale for sugar as far as the different territories that sugar can drop in. So Evanscale is the main territory that I go to. Now I'm just going to show you that there are some options. So obviously here's where we just ran. This is Skysong Temple, and there are quite a few of the provisions there. Now, the reason why I like Skysong Temple more than some of these other spots is because everything is fairly flat. You don't have to like work your way through. You don't have to kill a ton of enemies or anything like that. And there's a lot of other resources there to farm. Now, you can definitely hit up some of these other spots where there's a lot of, provisions congested and stuff. They're a little bit further away as a run. They don't have as many resources, but you can definitely hit those up. So I do encourage you to use a map. I'm using the New World map. I'll put the link for this map down below so you can also use this. But honestly, like I try to find routes where I can just fast travel to, get to the location, maybe farm up some of the other resources, and get some of the other benefits out of that area. So that's why I like the Skysong Temple area. But I will say, if you do the Skysong Temple area, and then you also go and join an Imperial run, so the elite area, look at all the provisions that are in Imperial Palace. Now, a lot of people will pass up the provisions boxes and provisions chests. Do not do that on your Imperial runs because there are a lot of stockpiles that you can get, and some of those stockpiles will give you 10 plus sugar. That's over $100, depending on your server price. That's over $100 for just pulling sugar out of a chest. Because sugar on our server, I've seen it price-wise go from $10 to $15, somewhere in there. So it is honestly pretty decent money if you have a lot of it, and it doesn't take that long to stockpile it. The nice thing with the Imperial runs is all of the provisions are same as, regular loot timers. So it's an hour long. You don't need to wait for every single day to go and farm them. So if you see an Imperial train, you've already gotten the elite chest, still join it, go get those provisions. Really easy provisions runs just by doing elite chest runs with, a big Zerg or something like that. So I do highly recommend doing that and trying to get as much sugar as you can on the runs, but do not skip the provisions. I know a lot of people do on these runs, but again, do not do that if you want to try to get as much sugar. Now, some of these provisions are down low. If you kind of zoom in on the map here, you can see that they're actually further down. But a lot of these are along the route. So you can kind of see that as you just do the general route, there's a lot of stockpiles along the way. And again, I stop at all of them because I want to get as much of that sugar as possible. So between Skysong Temple and if you do an Imperial run, you can get upwards of 50 to 100 sugar, depending on how lucky you are actually pulling the sugar out of those provisions. But like Kat went with me, she ran Skysong Temple, and then we also did Imperial, and I believe she got right around 100 sugar total. So it can definitely happen where you get quite a bit, but again, that's just one run. So if you do Skysong, then do Imperial, Imperial takes a little bit. By the time you're done with Imperial, you might be able to go back to Skysong, and you could almost just alternate, jump back and forth, depending on how long it takes you to do those. And you might be able to just have a very consistent farm going. But again, usually I like to just spawn somewhere or fast travel somewhere, go and farm it, move on. So that is the other option. That is the other sugar route that I go, which is literally just following a chest run. Follow the Imperial chest run and you will get a bunch of provisions. There are some provisions around the chest run that most people won't take that route. So you can definitely venture out away from there. And then I do recommend going down low on the shoreline, and there are a few provisions that you can get along the shore. So that is kind of the route that I go. Again, I will put this is the newworldmap.com or newworld-map.com. I will put the link in the description below so you guys can also use the same map. So you can kind of see what I'm looking at, see, obviously watching the video. Yeah, you can see me popping around to all these different provisions, but it can be kind of tricky to actually like know exactly where they're at. So I will put the link in the description below for this map specifically. All right, that is going to do it for today's farming video. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If this video did help you out, or if you just like it, please drop it a like. It helps me out a lot. And again, if you do want to see more content like this, as well as future content from me in general, definitely subscribe to the channel so you are notified when those videos go up. And then again, I also do stream throughout the week on Twitch. I might be streaming on YouTube soon, so definitely keep an eye out. But we'd love to have you stop by a stream, say hello, lurk, anything like that. But that is going to do it for today's video. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.